Amazing.
Boom. Just like that, we go live.
Check it. Episode 162 of the A2 show. Wow.
160, boys. How many months is that? We can do the math real quick.
I think like 12 or something. It's been a year already.
12 months?
Yeah,
What?
dude. Just kidding. JK. All right. Bring it back to the serious matters at hand. We're back with another a week with the guys. Yeah, let's shout them out. Sherif, Seif, and Nasr is back. Yeah.
Oh, aka the show's very own Nicolas Cage.
is back. Ahmad Hussein. Yeah, all the way from
Hello.
Egypt. What a king.
All the way from
Ahmad Paco, welcome back, dude. And Saeed, JJ.
Hey.
Yo. Salam. Kifak.
How's it going, boys?
Okay.
How's your night?
Good. All right. Let's just jump right into it. Night's good, man.
Okay, I guess so, yeah.
The night's good, dude.
Everyone's looking at me.
Good
What's
day,
going
dude.
on, boys?
All right. Saeed, I'm going to start off with you, Saeed. So we were talking about the topic today, and something that I guess resonated with all of us is that we wanted to say things that I guess we want our parents to know that they don't know. So, Saeed, let's start off with you. What do you think you wish your parents knew that about you that they don't know?
Something I guess I could really wish I could just open up to them, which I will eventually, but not yet. My personal beliefs about the faith that they taught me and what they believe and what I believe. So basically religion, obviously, and the way I go on with the things I do in my life, which I keep to myself and I don't tell them about, just because I feel like it's not that vague, it's pretty clear, the drinking part and stuff. These are things that I can't really open up.
Yes.
What?
Sherif?
Your parents don't know you drink?
My dad's okay with it since he used to do it when he was my age, but my mom is a conservative, so yeah.
She doesn't know or she knows? Walla shu.
She doesn't know. His mom does not know.
She doesn't know.
All
right.
I once confessed when I was in the beginning of my second year in university, and then we had a big fight over it and stuff. And they think I stopped.
But you didn't?
No, I stopped for a short time, and then I went back, I guess. So like these are
they know you have a vodka Stelishknaya bottle in your.
What about you, Sherif? Let's jump onto you, Sherif. Do you have like these like fears of sharing your beliefs with your parents?
Actually, my parents know almost everything about me. It's really it's really liberating, man. When you grew up with your in Nasr and Saeed's case, he said the faith that was taught to him, and my faith was smacked into me. It's really liberating when your parents finally accept you when you tell them everything. My parents both know I drink. My parents both know I have a girlfriend who I obviously have sexual relations with.
Cool. TMI. You have a girlfriend by default. You have that kind of shit going on. So you really don't have to,
Okay. So, no, man. In some cases, they expect you not to only hold their hand.
No. That's just the bullshit we have around here. Don't worry about it.
Anyway. But yeah, the one thing that I wish they knew more, especially the religious thing, that my parents, my dad especially, I once confessed to him. I was like 21. I confessed to him on the phone about it. He was really like accepting of it, and it's really liberating. That's one thing I do wish I can tell them more about. I know we said we won't bring up this topic, but since like for me, it's always been an issue. Addiction to like online pornography. It's a serious issue, man. It's a pandemic in today's society, but it's like a hidden thing. But yeah, it's just I wish I could tell them more about it because it's really taboo.
What would you want to tell them about it? They don't know. You don't think they know that all the young guys are?
They maybe do, but they don't know like the impact of it, the effect of it. Yeah. It's a very hidden thing, man. It's really. My mom بتسميها العادة السرية. Like it doesn't even have a name, man. It's like.
Bro,
like, it that shall not be named,
It that shall not be named.
Has a profound effect on a lot of guys. So I was one of those as well. But yeah, I'm behind me now.
I see. Yeah, I see. I've heard like some people are like more open with their parents. Some people, especially when they're like the faith thing, right? Some people find it very hard to explain to their parents that, hey, I think differently than you, and I'm my own person. Especially now that as an adult, some parents are accepting, some not so much. What about you, Ali? You come from maybe one of the more religious backgrounds from us. And I know that you have a little bit different beliefs than what the culture is. So is it harder for you to talk about these things, or do you keep them to
No,
yourself? No.
no, because I remember the day I told my dad what I believed in and everything. My dad knows I'm okay. My dad thinks I'm not religious, right? So I'm the
Okay.
complete opposite of you guys.
You're actually
Yeah,
religious. You're like, please.
yeah.
I am. I
Like,
swear.
no, no, it's not like that. It's more like when they have religious topics and history of the religion talks and things like that, they're always very surprised as to when I know the information already, and especially when, because we have this thing in our family where it's like they ask you a question and they know you can't answer because you're either like not religious or you're just not in depth with the topic at hand. So every time they ask me like a religious question, I answer and I give all the sources and everything, and they're just like, right? And they're still not expecting, like, they think I'm just like every other guy. They don't realize that, like,
You're
like,
religious. I see.
yeah, I am.
I
Like,
see.
I am
It's a
very,
different
I'm
take on
not
it.
very religious.
Mhm.
I think Mace said a really good line is I'm too haram for the halal people and I'm too halal for the haram people, right? Like,
What do you mean?
alhamdulillah, like,
So what do you mean? What do you do that's haram? I guess that I don't
I
think you do
mean,
anything that's haram.
listen, I I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but I don't pray as much as I should be. I try to, right? So
You
to
infidel.
the super like halal people, that's like, I mean, you saying infidelity is, that's pretty funny. Not gonna lie,
Funny.
but like
That's
I
random
do
laugh.
research. I do research. I read. I look into religion. Right. I have my own thoughts, beliefs, ideology that
Mhm.
doesn't fall directly under the different. I can't be placed in a specific bucket when it comes to my beliefs in my own religion. Right.
But
So
Ali, I
I'm.
think that's defined as haram. If you're not fully praying the full 5 prayers that you should be, or whatever sense of praying that should be done. I think it's just like you're not fulfilling the full role of that's expected from you. That's it. But you
Mhm.
are, in a sense, you're still religious. You're not haram in
Yeah,
any
no,
way.
I'm religious, but the thing is, if I was religious, I wouldn't even be talking to like half the people that came on the show because they are women, right? Like,
Oh my God! What is that? Okay,
you
what
know.
does that mean? You
I've
can't
happened
talk to
to
But
women?
former
It's haram
guests,
to
man.
talk to
What?
women. On
it's
like,
not about, well, it's not about it being haram. It's more of a like aib, It's seen as that,
غير محبوب. They use
like,
the word غير محبوب.
yeah, غير مستحب, or but
oh,
it depends again on like which sect you are, because some sects are like, no, you cannot even look at a woman, and other sects are like, I mean, it's fine as long as there's no physical
The girls and the boys, and we used to look at them like through the holes just to see their hair and shit. Wallah, it's crazy. We
oh
actually
my God!
Like how, mate?
I mean,
Bro,
that's a
listen,
confession,
I
bro.
was listen. I was in a British school, so for me, like talking to women is not hard, right? Because they're like, I don't have any motives behind it. I don't have any bad or ill intentions, right? But like when my cousins who didn't go to British schools, who went to like government schools, they see me talking to a girl all fine. They're just like, "Oh, you ladies, man. Oh, you're." I'm
ايوه
just like,
يا علي
no,
الري.
yeah, pretty much. No, they don't do that shit. They're just
Half our
like,
guests are female,
oh,
dude.
and it's just like, and they
Yeah.
look at me like,
he
oh,
is the
yeah,
chosen one. He is the Messiah.
not like, no, not like that. They look at me like, oh, like هذا اللي ما يستحي, he's okay with talking to women like it's nothing. It's not about that. It's just they're human beings too.
Okay.
I don't know why people choke up, right?
So why
Like
do
people
people choke up?
genuinely choke up when they start talking to women.
Why do they
Even
choke
listen,
up?
this is another thing I haven't told my parents, but there are women that I've liked. Doesn't mean I did anything.
استغفر الله العظيم
What are you
إنه
doing,
لا إله إلا الله
my
إنه
guy?
لا إله
What is he
إلا
doing?
الله
Bro,
بكرة عيد المولد يا زلمة بكرة عيد المولد يا كبير يعني
What is he
صحح
doing?
حالك خيي
You
عملت
guys,
لنا شغلة
I don't
خيي
understand.
علي الحج بس يا
الحاج عم
What's
بيلعب
خيي
كونتر
Paco? What is he playing?
Candy Crush on the podcast.
Is he actually playing a game while we're filming?
yeah
Bro, if you don't want to be here, you can leave. It's fine.
No. Stop
Like I was
that,
actually
bro.
pouring my heart
No.
out, and I was talking
No,
about
I know, I
something.
That
understand,
was
I
a very
understand,
deep
I
moment.
understand.
Yeah,
فانت
like
عم تحكي
I
لنا
did.
بشغله. لا ولو احترامي انا دغري سديت نيعي ومعك حق. وانا عم بسمعكم، انا ولو انا معكم انت عم تحكي لنا بشغله. اولا على فكره لا يجوز انك ما عم بتصلي، لانه God first question God asks you, did you pray? That's
That's right.
one. Two,
Yep.
that's the first question, and I was paying attention, bro. I just had the game on. I was just fucking around. But
Alright. I love how it goes. Like God will ask you.
no,
I'm just
I
fucking around. I'm just.
Bro, plot twist. We all have
bro,
games.
I
Paco, man,
am
that's Paco.
yo, I am the most religious and unreligious person you will ever meet in your
What
life.
does that mean? What does
Yeah,
that
bro.
mean?
Yani, there's
Paco-
moments in life where I will come out with the most random shit.
Mhm.
And the guys know, like Ahmad and Saeed and Sherif, and you should know.
Yeah.
Ali probably doesn't know because he hasn't hung out with me. But bro, sometimes,
I did
yo,
once.
I have the most like unreligious moments, and then sometimes I have the most religious moments. So
I guess,
That's
but
true. That's
yeah,
true. That's
And
really
it's
true.
by
That's
just what, like how you feel, like
but yeah,
religious that
the
day.
game was nice though.
The game was
uh-huh.
nice. Paco, we're
Bro,
gonna yeah. So it's like
plot twist. We all have games in the background, but we just muted it. مش unlike Paco.
I'm like Paco, hands free.
Okay.
Dude.
Hands
And
free.
See, Paco, I've known you for a very long
Yo,
time, and I still don't
problem is my
understand
internet. Yo, وحياة
how
Allah.
does it happen. Yeah, your internet's yeah.
What the internet?
Like Paco, I've known you for a very
My
long time.
internet
We
is
all
so
do.
trash,
And we
bro.
just don't know. We just want to understand how do you pick whether today I'm religious or today I'm not? I
Yeah.
still don't understand.
Bro, I never
he
pick.
wakes
It's
up
more
and
of a
it's what
moment.
he's feeling, bro.
Yeah, it's all
It's
about how
more
he
of a
feels.
moment.
Mhm.
It's more of a moment.
But you know,
Like
if
it depends on where I'm at.
You
someone
know
okay
what else is more of a moment?
What?
that, you can't say no
Gender
to that.
fluid
What
idiots.
is?
Yeah, gender fluidity. Yeah.
Ah!
Oh, what the
How
fuck?
am I feeling? You know what?
Ahmad,
Today I'm a guy. Tomorrow I'm a girl.
today I'm a dinosaur.
Nah, bro. I don't, bro. Do whatever you want to do. If you're that kind of person, have a sweet jolly day, bro. Get away from me. Look,
Have a sweet jolly day.
Yo, if you want to be happy in that corner, doing the happy things that you like, that might not agree, and I might not agree with. Okay, that's cool. Just do it somewhere else.
I
Like, don't
mean,
do it right
that's
next to
fair.
me, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, speaking of waking up and deciding to be religious or not, we had a friend in high school, اسمه Danny Marabi.
Let's not
Bro,
name drop
Danny
anyone.
Merabe.
We might.
He's a good friend. He's a good Russian
Bro,
friend.
this
of
is
ours.
not a
Yeah.
name drop. This is a
Alright.
godly drop, bro. This is a god that
What is the story,
came on
Sherif?
earth, bro.
It's a brief story.
Bro, holy shit.
He showed us a mini fridge next to his bed. He used to have like a small
Oh yeah.
canister of vodka. He used to open it. The first thing he'd do as soon as he wakes up, as soon as his alarm rings, before his alarm stops ringing, man, they already chugged the whole thing. A small canister, the ones they put in their jackets. He used to chug
It's
the
like a
whole
little
thing.
flask.
Yeah,
He's
flask.
Russian.
Yeah.
He's Russian. Yeah, he's a Russian. He's a half Russian, half Lebanese.
I mean,
It'd
I
be
guess
freezing.
it's the Russian in him to do that. I don't know.
Bro,
Yeah,
it would be
man.
freezing.
This guy
Chweyfet.
never wore a jacket, man. He never wore a jacket.
I
He
wore
only
a
wore it. He only wore it one day in the whole school year. One day.
In Siberia, jacket is for pussy. Like, nah, bro. Nah, bro.
Bro, this
cold
guy
out here.
lost a knuckle in a fight. Like, who fucking loses a knuckle
The legend,
in the
dude.
What do you
fight?
mean lost a knuckle in a fight? Wait, how does that happen?
Like, I have no idea,
the
but
guy
one day he
twists.
came up to us. He's like, "Yo, bro, I lost a knuckle in my." He's like, "Hey, bro, remember at Sam's? He showed us. Remember Sam's coffee shop?
Yeah, that place.
Oh, you mean like a
Yeah.
knuckle like
Yeah.
thing?
Like a knuckle, like between your fingers and your hand and
like
your
the
arm thing,
knuckle
whatever."
buster. Yeah, I know what it is.
All right. Let's
Holy
bring it
shit!
back.
I was like,
What's
and he
what's
lost a
halal about
what's
him?
it called?
He's not halal. He's just pure or
Ouch, Ali.
بيعرف القرآن. You know, Danny knows the Quran very well.
really?
Yeah.
Why doesn't he practice it?
Bro, it's ironic. The guy used to have like so many tabs of like. Oh, never mind. Saeed, man.
bro.
Ah,
Bro,
all
you
right.
don't need to
Let's
bring
bring it
that
back.
up.
Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back to the
Boys,
topic. Back to
boys.
the topic at hand. Ahmad Hussein. We went
Reel
around
it back a
everyone.
little bit.
Everyone. Yeah, it's your turn. Well, do you have like these like? Are you more like Sherif, or you're open, or you're like Saeed, where it's like it's hard to explain yourself to?
No, I'm actually more like Ali. I'm religious, but I don't pray daily. I wish I did. I did for a short period of time, but I didn't keep up with it.
Yeah. What? What?
Yeah, and,
Why not?
and
Why
when it
not?
comes to my,
When you were doing it consistently, was it like? Did you feel different, or not really?
yeah, definitely, honestly,
What do you?
wait, big time difference, big time difference. Like everything around you is just difference. You're calmer, you think better and clearer in a way. Your mind is not as foggy as it is. It's just different in a lot of different ways. But when it comes to my parents, they know everything, almost everything about me. There's nothing that I wish I told them that I did.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
that's
see.
pretty much it.
Yeah. Right.
Prayer is like a form of meditation. I heard, man. Like it's yoga actually even.
Mm,
They proved it in a way back then, and like scientifically, and the poses that the moves that you do in while praying is like in a way a form of meditation. Like your blood flows to your brain better. Your when you it's just you have to look
Yeah.
it up.
Well, I
You
mean,
have
it's like
to
it's yeah.
you have to read
If you're
about it and you have to
focused,
look it up.
if you're focused on like a specific task for like 15, 20 minutes, and all you're trying to focus on the moves and the prayers and the mantras and thoughts, it is basically a
Yeah,
meditation. Yeah.
can we not
yeah,
call them
2 minutes a day.
mantras?
It's like 5 minutes each prayer.
I don't want to call it mantra. It's not. It's different. It's religion. But
Yeah.
it's like but it's similar to the like the meditations of the East. I wish Amir was here. He'd know more. But it's like um in that you are repeating things over and you're thinking about them and you're reflecting and all you have in this time is just to pray. So it is a kind of meditation. I wish our parents explained it to us that way. That it's like
Definitely.
yeah, if it's not like you have to pray or whatever, you're right. You have to pray 5 times a day,
No,
and people
There's
get
a
yeah.
people leave.
beautiful saying by the Prophet's cousin where he says there are three types of worship. There's a worship that of a person who does it because he wants to get into heaven, and that is a worship for businessmen. And then there's the worship of people who fear hell, and that's the worship of a slave. And then there's a worship where you worship the creator because he is worthy of that worship. And that's, I think, what everyone should strive to be for.
And
When you
because
feel,
you love it. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, when you think someone's worthy of worship, obviously you love him, right?
Okay.
And we weren't explained that. We were just told, "Salli, Jahannam,
Yes.
Salli."
True.
Just pray. And
Hmm.
I don't think that's the right way of doing it. But the thing is, here, let me give you an example. So there are these guys
Yeah,
I
Psych
know.
101, positive and negative reinforcement. That's part of
Exactly.
that. That's
So there are these guys that this was a story told to me by my friend who used to study abroad. I'm not going to mention where and who, just because I never asked if I can relay the story because it's not mine. But basically, he said that he saw a bunch of guys pissed drunk, right? Pissed like tafid, khas, drunk. Like there's so one of the guy's phone starts ringing. And he goes like, "Oh, shabab, yalla yalla salah," and they just like close it. They close the bottles. They get up and they start praying drunk. What you see there is your classic. In Arabic, it's called what was it? It's عادة ولست عبادة, which basically means it's a routine. It's not worship.
Hmm.
Why? Because they were forced to pray. They were told, pray, pray. You have to pray, pray. Why pray? Because God wants you to pray. But there is a reason for prayer.
That's what
Said you're
you call it. It became a habit for them.
Became a habit
yeah.
instead of like
It's more of a habit and a
focusing on.
routine instead of worshiping because you're supposed to,
Mhm.
right? I think that's
Yeah, or because you want to. Is the
yeah.
difference. Yeah, you can't force anyone to do things, and maybe our parents, their generation, that's how they learned it from our
Man, I think for a
grandparents,
very long time
right?
people have been forced to pray. Like it's based on fear and terror and threats and like man في I don't know إذا آية بالقرآن ولا حديث بس إنه في it's like something that says after they turn 7 they have to start praying. If they turn 10 and they're still not praying, that's when you start to beat them.
Oof.
Can anyone confirm this?
Okay. First of all,
Yeah,
that is
man,
no
it's not
way.
about confirming it or not. It's just about how people take it out of context. That's it.
Yeah, bro.
I'll search
It's
it
not
right
about
now. I'll see if
it's
it's
not
true.
about hitting him, bro. You don't hit him. You just like lightly tap him. So everyone's like, "Oh, you beat your kid or whatever." Blah blah. But you don't beat the kid, and people interpret it wrong. Some people actually do beat their kids, sometimes to death. But that's not the right way. Not everything you
I
see
mean, not to
in
death, bro.
in the
But they beat their kid.
whatever society is
All
right.
sincere, man.
That doesn't make sense. What does lightly tap mean? What do you mean by lightly tap? You can't just lightly tap your child and say, "Look, you have to go play it
How
out."
about I lightly tap you on the butt?
No, that's it's not.
Saeed, what define lightly tap, bro? Get the hell out of here. You know what that
Let me get this.
lightly tap means.
Let me
Basically
get
means
this out of the way, boys. It's a hadith, but it's not authentic. So it's like
It's not like main scripture. It's like
yeah,
extra, yeah.
not main scripture. So in a hadith there is authentic, like trustworthy chain, and then
Al-Bukhari.
pretty
Bukhari
much.
is the most authentic
Yeah, but
one.
even Al-Bukhari states that this hadith is authentic or not, right? So
Yeah, true.
What?
this hadith is not authentic.
How do you know what hadith is authentic and what?
And it's not about when he turns 10. It's about عندما يبلغ, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
So when he hits
When
puberty.
they hit puberty, and by
Yeah.
puberty, not sexually, by
Yeah.
mind, basically, when they're fully aware, right? Like
No,
we
when
say
he
balagh,
fucking when he nuts out the cum.
for the love of God,
That-
guys.
yeah.
No,
What?
that's
Ali,
first of all.
What? That
Let's
Ali,
not
how do
go
you know?
there.
Yes.
Second
How do
of
you-
all, because I
no,
took a
that's
course
what
in-
puberty hits for a man.
Okay, puberty
For a
and men,
man-
when their sexual organ grows, when they start developing facial hair, when they start
No,
having a
no,
change
it's
of
when
voice.
their sexual
you
organs
left all
grow.
of this and you went for the most shitty definition.
That's Paco, bro. That's Paco.
Anymore, I don't know.
ماشي،
It's
ماشي،
literally,
bro.
you're gonna tell me my definition is wrong? I will literally pull out like the books
ماشي.
right
Bro,
now.
but
Ali.
wanna
That's
pull
the
out the
matter at
book.
hand.
على البوك أبوك والله أبوك.
A book, I'll pull out like the book, my physiology book. We can fully see what the definition of puberty is. I don't even have
والله
to
عين
so
أبوك.
fucking use.
Ali, I want to know
الله
how
عين
do
أبوك
you know about
يا كبير.
how do you know about all this? How do you know what hadith is like a real like?
Because I've studied religion. I took like 2 years out of my life to completely study religion, just
Okay.
understand why there's a huge split in
Who wrote the hadith?
factions.
Who
and-
wrote the hadith?
See, here's where it starts to be a little bit, for me personally, just saying.
What do you mean?
Right? Because my dad is one
Like-
thing, I'm something else. That's
Okay.
about as close to telling you guys which faction I am or I'm not a part of. Sometimes, like, you see that there's a specific person that entered the religion like in the last few years but has thousands and thousands of sayings, right? What are let's break it down a little bit further. What are the prophetic sayings? It's basically witness accounts of speeches that the prophet has given.
Which
Sib-
prophet? Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam ولا
Yes. Like there's no other prophet I'd be talking about right now when I say ahadith. Like it's pretty obvious. But basically, sometimes like I look at the chain and I'm like, oh, see, he relayed this hadith, and it's just like he's known for being this or that due to his history, right? But sometimes I look and I'm like, wow, you know what? I think this is a good chain because this guy was good. This is good. Yes. Perfect.
But Ali,
So that's-
the difference is the original text, like the Quran, is a
Mm.
godly text, right? And it's
Perfect.
not made by men, right?
Yeah.
Say that. All right. And as for the hadith, they're made by men, right? It's-
Yeah.
All right. People, I don't know if those hadith from those
It's
times
a
relate
perspective, isn't
yeah,
it?
it's a perspective, but I don't know. Do those match for today? Like today's
No,
society?
it's not.
It's not that
perspective or
doesn't
not.
match for today. Ahmed, here, let me take over for a second. I'll let you say what you have to say.
Yeah, please.
As Muslims, we believe that the Quran is eternal. Its words and like the way you understand it is for any time or any time era. No change in it whatsoever, right? With ahadith, you have to understand that those times, right, at the time of the Prophet, the way they think,
Yeah.
the way they understand words, the play on words, especially since it's in the language of Arabic, where there's like
Sure.
the same definition but 50,000 different words for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about understanding, and that's why you have people who are scholars, right? They dedicate their whole lives. This is their job. This is their full-time thing, is they dedicate their whole lives to studying the text and all things like that to tell you whether yes, no, maybe. If you have a question that's not mentioned in the Quran, right? Like,
Sure. Okay.
who are you gonna ask?
Okay.
Your mom and dad? Well, who are they gonna ask? Obviously, they're
The religious
respected,
person. Mm-hmm.
I
religious
have
scholar.
I
Ask.
have a question for you. Does it say in the Quran that Muhammad wrote the Quran?
No.
No.
No, Muhammad did not write the Quran.
Okay,
No.
so
He's illiterate, man.
عثمان ما هيك ولا
No,
Ex-
Uthman جمع القرآن.
yeah,
He
but he
completed
no,
yeah,
like
so I have a question.
he recited the Quran.
they all did.
I have a question based on this point.
Yeah.
Do you think that maybe the Quran could have been played with?
No.
Could what? What's the question?
It could have been played with, like, since it was not written by the Prophet himself.
No way. It's proven that it could not have been played with because of
At
some
all.
scientific
Too
scientific
complicated.
letters.
Yeah.
Scientific letters, or in a specific way where it's written, where it proves that there's no way a human being wrote it in a way where, scientifically speaking, the number of words and the number of, let's say, women to men are equal, or the number of
Okay.
other stuff, they're equal. They're written in a way where it's impossible to
Yeah.
have
So
been
here,
played.
there's also another factor that you guys haven't really discussed is they found the prophet's well, it wasn't like it was the prophet's cousin's original copy of the Quran, because he used to be the writer of the prophet. Ali ibn Abi Talib, he used to write his letters when he sends them abroad. He used to write down his commands and everything. They found it. It's now, I think, in the University of Nottingham, being very taken care of, or somewhere in England. When they inspected it word for word, it is exactly the same as the copy every one of you has in their homes. If you
Sure.
know, you
And
go and
you
check it
can't
out now,
translate it. You can't tamper with it. It's very. I don't think. I don't.
right?
I'm not too concerned about like the
What Ahmad
Quran,
said.
the main text.
Ahmad, you said that it was scientifically proven that a human couldn't have made up this. What do you mean by that?
What do you mean? What do I mean by that?
I know what he means. There's amazing numerology in the Quran. Me, as being an atheist, despite being an agnostic atheist, despite that, there is amazing, very compelling numerology in the Quran. There is like equal number of mentions of men and women. For example,
For example, Google said that the word man was mentioned 24 times and the word woman was mentioned 24 times, and that's how equality for the man and woman is in the Quran.
My friend here is beside me and he would like to get involved on this topic. Would you guys mind if he said something?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, man.
Kamel?
What?
We have a special guest. Let's hear it. Come in. Salam.
Wait.
Okay, fine.
Where are you, bro?
Hi.
Salam, bro.
How's it going?
oh, it's the guy who lit the cigarette.
You're on A to the show.
Okay, so but I wanted to say something, and it wasn't actually scientifically proven that the Quran cannot be written by a person. Actually, I think this is it's like a misconception, because in the Quran it says that no human could have written something like this, but that's just in the Quran. A person could have just as easily said that, but the science doesn't back anything on the topic. Bilaks, I've made it my business to know all the science on religions, and
Okay. Tell
this
us.
has never.
So what science? Can you tell us about the science? So what do you mean the science said otherwise?
No, like all of the science I've seen on religion, like from actual scholarly databases and journals, has been more sociological, anthropological, and a little bit of psychology and philosophy. So from what I know, religion is seen as a social institution. And
Can you hit us with like one example? What do you mean? We're talking about like the main text here. We're talking about the Quran itself.
no,
What do you mean?
there's nothing on the Quran being no, the way it's written. There's nothing about that in any literature, in any actual published literature. It just says in the Quran that
Wait, I have a
man.
question for you. I have a
Yeah.
question for you. You know that you do know that. Yo, Sherif, man, mute yourself.
My bad.
Wait, you know that 80% of what has been written in the Quran have gotten proven, and 20% is ambiguous, right? Not 0.1% had been disproven. Not
Pretty
0.1.
much.
So, yani, statistically speaking, or like humanely speaking, if you think about it, 80% have gotten proven right, and 20% is ambiguous. You might say that those 20% will most probably be right they will get proven down the line.
With time.
I don't think that completely relates to the point I'm trying to make. And no, I'm not saying no, the Quran has never hit something ahead of its time when it comes to science. But I'm saying about the point where Saeed was raising, where apparently the science says the Quran couldn't have been written by a human
being. Sure.
When I say scientifically proven, I mean by the scholars of the Islamic people, the scholars. They like Ali said, they dedicated their life studying this, and you can't disprove.
I'll tell you a good.
There isn't a human being that can tell something before its time, written 1,400 years ago, or let's say just when you were born 20 years ago. How can you make this assumption? It's impossible.
Let me ask you guys this. How about when it comes to the Quran is very poetic, right? So at the time of the Prophet, they could go for hours freestyling poetry, literally for hours, just freestyling poetry, right? So when the first piece of Quran started coming and it started to be like a regular thing, the Prophet gave them like, I think it was an ayah, maybe two, or like he gave him first the whole verse. He's like, okay, since you're all mad poets, I want you to bring something that's close to the wording of this poetry, right? Since you're calling it poetry. They tried. They failed. He's like, fine, half of it. Get me half of this at least. So poetry, your own poetry, take your time, write it. Come back to me with at least half, same wording, same, let's say like, I won't say rhythm because it's not music, but you know what I mean, right? Like it's like same.
Sure, you can have rhythm in poetry. Sure.
Like yeah, but like
cadence.
There's cadence. Yeah, they're like fine. They went back. They kept trying. They couldn't. He's like, guys, one line. Just give me one line. Right? This is authentic hadith. They still couldn't. They were defeated.
Man, this
Real
is
poets.
man. Like it's about.
Like Saeed, can you turn off your mic?
You guys were hearing. You guys were hearing me.
Pretty much.
Yes.
Yeah, no, not bro.
Yeah,
like
we were hearing
the
voices. We weren't hearing what you were saying, but
Anyways,
what Ali said. What Ali said.
Sure.
Like I'm trying to hear what Ali's saying, bro.
What you're saying, Ali, is it's great, but at the end of the day, it's whether or not you believe it, right? It's like
I mean, I do believe it. That's why.
But if you don't believe it, it's like you can't like.
Sherif said something.
Explain to someone.
Fair, it is. But Sherif said something. I know.
Yeah,
I know it's based on stories, but when everyone agrees with the same story on both sides, on both sects for hundreds and like 1,400 years,
like Ali, you can
bound to
believe
be
it,
true, right?
But there's stories.
Okay. He said it's all about perspective. Well, if me and you come like Sherif, let's have a rap battle, right? You'll think your verses were better than mine, right? Obviously, it's like I'd expect this. You'd expect me to think my shit is much better.
Yeah.
But when the opposition literally says this is like too good, I can't. Like there's no way I can't even get one line.
I can't. There's no really like the Quran is really
either
like,
way.
A straight text.
No religious talks on the show. We kind of
dip too far in. But
yeah, we dip too far.
If there is something I would like to tie it back to the original thing is that right? Maybe the original teachings are like sacred and they last us to this time, but all the extra stuff, the hadith and stuff, they might have related to a different time. And if you're trying to like get people to be religious today
Bro,
in the
Ali still
21st
hasn't asked
century,
me if I wanted to talk to my parents.
do you want to talk to your parents, Paco? What do you
Bro,
want
they
to?
find
Yeah, I'm
out
not.
anyway.
What do you want to
Listen,
tell your parents?
before we wrap this science religion thing, I just wanted to say that the thing is with science and religion nowadays is that people put them opposite to each other. But the
Yes.
thing is, when you put them with each other, the world you live in will make much and much more sense than you think. Once you put them
True.
together, they complement each other. They're not placed to be against each other. But that's how a lot of people perceive it
Yeah,
that way.
I
You know,
think yeah, I think we've
science and
lost it
religion.
because a lot of the times the religion is being taught to us in a very damaging way, which is like you have to go
And I
willingly
agree.
or else you get hit.
Yeah, I
Whatever.
agree.
No one's gonna learn,
Extremist. Yeah.
especially in the 21st century where we have internet and YouTube, and you're like, oh, you're telling me this, but then everyone around the world is doing it differently. People, you know what I mean? And there are all these different
Yeah.
ideas and thoughts. You can't teach people the same way. And if there's something I could tell my parents is that like we're in a different time than they were, 100% different time. And so
Way different.
you
Yeah.
can't have the same expectations of me that you had for yourself and your parents had for you. That's it.
Definitely.
Mhm.
100%.
Mm. Well, let's roll it back to what I was saying before Paco was playing his games.
Oh, fuck you, bro.
No,
I
fuck
do
you, bro. You're the
apologize
one
for
who
that.
cut me off.
Yo, Paco, I said
I
watch
do
your language,
apologize
man.
for this. And
Anyways,
Wallah Makai. You have a
this
point.
is-
You have a point.
it's okay. Anyways,
I do apologize for that. I'm so sorry
No,
for
you don't
it.
have
You're
to.
good.
You
Don't
don't
worry about
have
it.
to.
It was a
It's
funny
fine.
bit.
Don't worry about it.
No, I do apologize. It's very
خلاص
foolish of
خلاص
myself.
You want to let me
سامحناك.
speak or what's going on?
No,
Can I something controversial without getting interrupted?
Saeed, can you say something in general?
no, that's,
Say something
muted.
controversial, and we'll see who wants to respond. Go for it.
I usually would like to say something, but I get interrupted a lot, so I'm gonna go for it.
so
Fuck it.
astaghfirullah.
Paco, shut up. Basically, what I'm gonna say is,
Watch your language.
when I asked about if the Quran was written by,
Why are you screaming?
so you can fucking listen and stop
Man,
interrupting.
Paco, let him say it. Mhm.
Jesus,
Go ahead,
man.
Saeed.
Bro,
Say-
you
Say your thing. Say your thing.
You
Listen,
can't say
stop
Paco,
Jesus then go into the Quran.
talking.
Paco,
No, bro.
can we be grown ups and just listen to the guy?
I just want, bro. I'm just saying. Why are you
Let him scream it. He's passionate.
screaming, bro?
He's passionate about it. Go
He's
for
passionate. Just let him. Khas, everyone
Oh,
stop before
if
you
I
ever
want him
speak.
to be passionate, the hell.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm gonna
Saeed.
mute
Saeed,
myself.
just
Fuck.
man.
Saeed.
Saeed, shoot your question.
Paco, go back to your game. What I was
guys.
gonna say is, when I was referring back to the point about the Quran being played with, so we all know that Prophet Muhammad was illiterate and he did not write the Quran himself.
Mhm.
So, and we went over the point of how the Quran could have been like, when it's scripture, there are things that are scientifically proven and so on and so forth. Now, in my opinion, from what I have studied and what I've analyzed from what I've studied, the Quran could have been written by a bunch of scholars, and they could have made it in their own sense, written it in their own way to make people follow it in according to what they want, you know. And the things that are proven in it, that have been scientifically proven, are correct. You have to think about it. The Quran came, like the book itself was written and came down more than 100 years after the death of Prophet Muhammad. Hundreds of years, actually.
Not true.
How
No,
long
it's
was
not
it?
true.
How long
In
was
the
it?
lifetime. In the lifetime of the Prophet.
Yes.
In the
So
lifetime of the Prophet.
book,
Yes.
The actual
Okay,
book.
now Saeed,
first
because
written book.
now I want to say something.
no, wait,
Ali,
no.
خليني-
I wish
Point.
I
Ali,
could fact check
but
Google
Saeed,
this.
listen, you guys,
I don't
listen,
know.
listen to this. Saeed, before you continue, how long was the Arab Empire for? Like, how many hundreds of years? Because it was for hundreds of years, the Arab Empire. It went up to all the way up to Spain, all the way up to Maghrib. So how long was the is Arab Empire not like stabilized for? If you can answer that question, then you can answer the Quran and all that because the Quran unified the Arab. Don't forget that. Like let's
It
talk
is true.
politics.
He
It
was talking
unified the
about.
Arab.
It did. I mean, like he had to teach people from scratch, millions and millions and millions of people, and it was the last religion to gain popularity. So there's
Listen to
something.
this.
I wonder what it was like in that time.
Fact check of what Saeed said.
Mhm.
Ready?
Fact check.
23 years into the prophethood of Muhammad, alayhi afdal salatu salam, how long did it take for him to spend preaching his religion? 30. I think, I don't want to, I'm not too sure on the number. I think it was 33. Maybe.
I'm talking about when it was actually written by Uthman.
Yeah.
Mentioned.
23 years. Listen to this. During the 23 years of Muhammad's time as a prophet, the verses of the Quran were memorized as they were revealed, and about 42 scribes wrote the verses on different materials such as paper, cloth, bone fragments, and leather.
You know why? Because they were trying to kill them in order not to get the message out.
Oh.
And they had people memorized and engraved in their brain so they could let the message
That
out
is
later,
so
and
wild.
they succeeded.
The memory
There you
they
go.
had back then. I just can't imagine memorizing the
Dude,
whole text.
hundreds and hundreds of bars freestyling.
Yeah, I have no
as
clue.
poets.
Yeah, no, I can imagine.
Oh,
It's
man, I've
like-
seen activities in the Middle East.
You're giving a margin of error when it was actually combined into a book. You're giving a margin.
But Said, how can you? No, but you're assuming that there's error. You
There's
don't
error
know
if it was
there's
written
error.
by one person, but 42 people at the same time?
That's all the
Where's
same.
the error?
Yeah.
Some of the people that memorized the scripture, they memorized it orally. They didn't write it down because not everyone was literate back then.
Tab Said, how do you?
Just said they
Okay,
wrote it
okay.
down.
But Said, you're making it sound like there's an error. So how do you know there is an error? Who gave you like what made you believe that there was an error? How do you know they weren't special? Some people, hey, Usain Bolt was the fastest person in the world. He runs faster than me. Doesn't make him.
I said there's a margin of error.
Sure.
That means there's an error.
All right.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
I said that
yeah.
there's a difference in the term. It's a technicality.
So, Said, what? So if there, let's say there is, all right, let's say crazy, whatever. There is what? So now what? Okay. What's
How
the
do you
point
know?
you're trying to make?
How do you know what's right and what's wrong in the Quran?
Can I ask you a question?
Bro,
Another question, Saeed, and like a question to answer your question.
Sure.
Can you explain why nowadays, if you look it up, nowadays it's the #1 fastest growing religion outside the Arab world?
How is this relevant?
How's that?
Like,
that was,
I mean, why would people believe in it with all the media and all the things that they're what's happening? I don't want to go into depth with it, but you know what I mean.
If you want to ask that question, why is Mandarin the most spoken language in the world?
That's completely different. One is belief and one is like
what? Yeah,
with,
one is
Chinese having so many kids that they.
population,
That's overpopulation for you. It's not really.
Bro, Saeed, you cannot bring that, bro. That doesn't make sense, Saeed.
Yeah, and
Let me
plus,
tell you
plus
why.
Saeed, you didn't
No,
answer
it
my
does make sense.
first initial question, where not 0.1% was disproven from what was written in the Quran. Nothing. If you were able to answer this question, you wouldn't ask me your question. Do I make sense?
So I just on the point, yeah. Let's just at the end of the day
move on because
yeah,
it's gonna
move
get
on.
too controversial and everyone's gonna get upset with each
Everyone's
other,
gonna
and
get
it's already crossed
beheaded.
my threshold of controversy already. Like,
all right.
Guys,
We're having a grown up. We're having a grown up talk. No one's gonna get upset from anyone.
No
It's
one's
a grown-up talk,
We're not
but
even
they're
in the
bound
same
to.
country to get upset from each other.
That is true.
There's a difference between get upset and fight. There's like
being wrong in the Quran. You just said there's not a 0.1% incorrect thing in the Quran. Where's your
No,
source?
he said there's not a 0.1% disproven in the Quran.
Yes.
Thank you,
He
Paco.
never said there was some.
We don't.
So
Yeah, bro, you can't look. I'm the least religious, most religious person you know, bro. I have come up with the most religious things at the most wrong time, bro. But yo, خذها مني. يعني he gave you a check mark. He didn't win the game yet, but he gave you a check mark.
All right.
It's
No,
correct.
all I'm saying is go do the research from an unbiased point of view. Like see more than one side, and then
Yeah.
judge for yourself. That's all I'm saying.
Make our own your opinion.
Because
These are
end of
good
the day,
stories.
there's two sides to the coin, and you gotta choose which one.
Ooh. Flip tricks on the show, dude.
If I may
Sherif,
say something before we
please,
wrap it up.
please, Sherif.
Give me any
Bro,
something.
Ali, could you say that again?
Who, me?
I was saying Sherif.
Yeah, bro, I could not hear a word you said. Neither
All right.
Saeed. I could not hear a word you said.
I said
Saeed say the same thing you said that.
there's two sides of the coin when it comes to religion, and you gotta look both ways.
Ooh.
That's what I said.
Flip
Tab
trick.
Saeed, what'd you say?
Muslim life.
هذا أبو gang
I
signs.
made my decision. That's all.
All right, Sherif, go for it.
Basically, man, I think we can
Okay,
get out
okay,
of this
okay.
back and forth debating, but just look at the facts. Point is, the human race has, since the beginning of its existence, has always tried to prescribe meaning and purpose to its existence, right? We used to have gods for the ocean to explain the way the ocean works, because we didn't know how the ocean works. The gods of the ocean are angry when they get tsunamis. Oh, the gods of the wind, or that's how all most ancient religions are. But then at one point when science grew and we knew how those things work, it necessitated by necessity, like necessarily just creating an all-powerful, omniscient creator, right? That can't be explained. But the thing is, I think religion is too easy, man. It's too simple of an explanation, it's really comforting to just know for a fact that when you're gonna die, you're gonna be judged. Just do this. This is the right thing for sure, and it's a lot of certainty in religion,
Yeah,
There's
but
a lot
that's like the most Sharif, that's like the most like subtle way of putting it, but it's way more than that. It is so much way more than that.
Yeah, I just want to highlight on the fact that when Sherif said that when the science grew, you stopped believing in whatever 1, 2, 3 because science explained them. But
there's science
when it
inside
comes
the
to
Quran
when it comes
itself.
to the Quran, it's different. It's the opposite. It's complementing it. You're proving it.
It's true. It is very strange to me how like in the time of the Prophet, peace be upon him, and like that time was the strongest time for Arabia. It was the strongest time where it was growing fast and there were a lot of people speaking Arabic and we were having all these inventions and creations, and that was when Arabia was at its finest. And I just wonder if there has been a change in the religion at the time to why now people are using religion for war. I think that's kind of the problem. I feel like I understand why people get frustrated with religion, is that people use sects and religion. In Lebanon, why do Shiites and Sunnis and Christians fucking fight each other? Right? Why?
No, because that's because of politics.
Okay, because of politics. So why did politics interfere in religion, and how do we separate that? All right, because maybe the religion
because
is telling
they
you to be a better
defend each
person.
other and they use
Ali,
religion to succeed.
Ali, it needs a lot of time, but it's a much bigger game that you're talking about, and it is politics, like Paco said, and it's a way bigger game than you think it is. It's the game played by the big people, and you know what I mean by that. I'm not gonna name names or you know what, but
all right,
it's
you have to.
They wanna. You said the Arab when they were united, they were very strong, and now we're not united. That's why we're not as strong, and that's kind of the goal of,
They don't want us.
Well, it's separating us, and
you know how dangerous. You know how. Well, listen to this. You know how dangerous it is when you have 435 million. 435 million people worship the same God, speak the same language, right? And like have almost the same culture. You know what happens when they unite?
Exactly.
Geographically speaking,
we're unstoppable.
There you go. And they just don't want us to be, united. Why? Because it gives like their goals a better chance of happening, and it puts them on top every single time.
Like if you look at Lebanese history, bro, you have the British that support the Druze and the Jabal. You have the French supporting the Maruni, the Christian Maronites. You have the Turkish supporting the Sunni from Beirut, and the Shiite of the south, and the north, and the Sunni in the north, and the Shia in the north. Bro, this country is like a whore. It's played with everybody. It's played with everybody. This is why you don't have one person controlling the whole country, because every segment in this country has joined with another European country or a Turkey or Iran or this or that. Bro, Lebanon is never gonna be one unified
You
country.
don't
They're
think so?
gonna go Lebanese.
I can think
Never.
otherwise because
It
we're all
won't
people
be.
at the end of the day. Dude, we had a whole United Arabia. You don't think we can have a united Lebanon? I don't
First
think
of all,
there's.
we never had a united Arab because they killed them, bro. They killed anybody that even thought of one united currency. But they fought over where the central bank is gonna be. The Arabs won't get along, not anytime soon. Not until a minded person comes through. The Arabs
It might
need
not
to get
happen in our
along.
lifetime, man, but
But who
I
knows?
believe eventually it will
Yo,
happen.
I hope it happens.
I hope
I
it
hope
happens.
it
It will.
happens. I pray
I
for the best
strongly
for this
believe that it will.
because I'm tired of.
You're
You're
tired.
tired of.
A lot of people gonna die if that's gonna happen.
Listen,
And Lebanese are the last people to join hands together. Like if it wasn't for the
I just, dude,
explosion in
Paco, we're all
17 March
different.
where everyone was
Yeah,
affected, okay.
sure. But look at me, you, we're all like all different in all different Arab
yeah,
countries right
you're
now,
all
and we're here
different. Like,
united. So what is, if I want to meet someone who's
Because
gonna,
we're educated.
okay, so educate people
perhaps increase
and
the
problem
education,
solve. Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
That's all you have to do.
It's not the problem is education. The education is there. It's just
It's
when you
wrong.
take money from politician X because you need that money, well, that politician X says don't talk to them. Well, you're gonna listen to politician
Yes,
X,
yes, yes, exactly. Don't
whether
listen to
you
them.
like it or
They're
not.
freaking liars. They're
You're gonna
thieves.
show. You're gonna show.
They're thieves and criminals.
Why are
Why are
you
you listening to
yelling?
them? Because I'm pissed off about this. Very much so. Because they're criminals and they should be locked up and shot. Boom. Done. You know? And people are controlled by these politicians and they're brainwashed. And they
I
need
just
No,
had
they're
a
education.
not. No,
They
I
need
had a great
no, they're
education.
not.
idea. This
Lebanese.
idea is amazing. Listen to this.
What?
Why don't we start our own Assassin's Creed in Lebanon and we'll assassinate every single one? No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm
Bro,
joking. I am
I
joking.
wish, bro. I wish. I actually
Nah.
like playing Assassin's Creed.
I'm not.
I
I'm
like
not
playing
with
Assassin's
death.
Creed.
Break his
I'm not
windows.
with death. Sorry, I called for
Just
death,
like-
but it's like I'm not for death.
But like,
No,
if
you're
they gotta go,
tired.
they gotta
You're
go.
tired.
It's like
Right?
at this point, it's like, what are you trying to do here? Like they're like Rafi Harir is back. That's where I'm gonna leave it. He's back
Yeah,
after all
bro.
this. After
هيرجع
all this,
الدولار 1005 because
Saad
Harir is
fine.
back.
Let
Thank you for watching another episode of A2 the show. We're sorry that this religion took very this religion. I mean, we're sorry this
it doesn't. You don't have to be
podcast went
sorry
into a
about it. It's
religious,
just we
like,
talked about
turn.
it. It's our first time talking about something like
This
this.
was our first time attempting to have adult conversations. You know how controversial they can be.
Yes.
If you did enjoy the episode, although I doubt it, do like, subscribe.
Hey.
share,
Share,
post it
like, subscribe.
everywhere.
Come on. You know that like a lot of you guys
Subscribe.
subscribe.
Share.
Usually everything's going to be okay.
Oh, okay.
But,
Yes.
yeah, but with climate change going up
You can't reverse that.
or
really.
accelerating,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So that's stressing them more and more frequently. Now, this is what's dangerous because they're getting like stressed more frequently and the recovery time is getting shorter and shorter and shorter, which is threatening the reefs. And in addition to that, the stress flow is stronger and stronger and stronger. So you'll recover the first time, you'll recover the second time. But then we all, like as humans, if something really hits us, it's like,
Kills us.
it doesn't work. Yeah,
Yeah, it
kills us.
doesn't. Oh,
Kills
wow.
us. Yeah.
Thanks.
So, yeah.
Okay. And so